Welcome to Talking Beards, an entertainment news podcast all about the facial hair lifestyle and the people who use their beards and mustaches to help change the world. Join your hosts, World Goatee Champion Aaron D. Johnston and two-time National Goatee Champion Scott Sakura as they talk about all the important issues in the community, from charity events, competition news, styling tips, breaking news, and much more. Tune in every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern as we stream live on all social media platforms as well as talkingbeards.com and answer all of your questions. Join in our chat room and be a part of the show each week as we give away great prizes, compliments of Honest Amish. I am your host, Aaron D. Johnston, and I am Scott Sakura, and we are Talking Beards.
Welcome, everybody, for Talking Beards. Tonight is episode number 208 of the live show, 286 of the podcast. And we have breaking news from the legendary Taxi Phil himself. And we have Ron Wolek on the show to talk all about the Hank Wolek Beard and Mustache Contest. It's going to be happening up there in Syracuse, New York on April 8th. And so we're going to find out all about that contest. So this is a full night of episode, pretty much. So yeah, I'm Aaron D. Johnston. Go ahead, Scott.
And I'm Scott Sakura. I hope you guys all enjoyed that fun little intro that AI did for us. We've been having a lot of fun with that. So I wanted to have a fun little story to start the show off with our two awesome guests tonight. Both guys are really involved in their communities and really have done amazing things for their communities over the years. And we think
AI brought them together.
AI brought them together into a fun story. Apparently, Phil, you live in Syracuse now, so
Phil and Ron, up there in Syracuse, just doing their thing, just eating ice cream together and hanging out.
Yeah. So, but we want to thank everyone for joining the show tonight. You can check out the show live over at talkingbeards.com. You can also check out some other cool stuff there. I updated the site yesterday. I actually stripped away a lot of stuff, so now it's like real. Naked. Yeah, naked, totally naked. But if you want to interact with the show, just like everyone, you see these comments popping up on the screen.
Like this one.
Like Aaron and Scott have matching shirts tonight. And
okay, you ready? This is breaking news.
1, 2, 3. Yellow shorts.
Yellow shorts.
You peed your pants.
Probably. We're matching.
Yeah, but if you want to participate in the chat on the show, you can either go to our Facebook page or to our YouTube page. If you'd like, you can go to Twitch and or Twitter, but we don't really.
You can.
You can
go hang out on Twitch and Twitter all you want and comment, and the comments will show up. And it'll be amazing because no one's ever over there.
They'll show up in here, but yeah, and we'll bring them up if you do comment from there. But we want to thank everyone, like I said, for tuning in, and we want to thank Honest Amish for helping us with our show. Always remember to go over to honestamish.com if you're looking for some new beard products and or soaps. They have wonderful soaps. But make sure you use the promo code Talking Beards and you'll get 15% off your order. And if you order $35 or more, you will get free shipping domestically.
Yes, inside the continental United States. So and we will not ship to Australia for free.
No. Sorry. And everyone make sure they always go over to thebeardcalendar.com for the most up-to-date listing of beard competitions that are going on worldwide. Yes, that is right. Worldwide. We have a lot of competitions on there from overseas. And in fact, we just did an episode a couple weeks ago for the March beard calendar. And there's already been an addition of 3 more competitions that are going to be happening, not in Ohio, and 2 more in Texas within the next few weeks.
Yeah, you go. So the 2 Texas ones are this upcoming weekend, right? In Waco and Dallas.
Yep.
Yeah, so there you go. So those are coming up. I know Central Texas is involved with the one in Waco, and I'm not quite sure who's even putting on the one in Dallas, but it's on the beard calendar, and there's information, so you can go find it and go check it out.
Yeah. So, but I mean, like you were saying at the beginning of the show, we have a lot of information tonight, and you're down in Florida currently, correct?
I am. Yeah, we came down to Orlando. We met with Ron earlier today, and we just did some overall, running around. Haven't been down here in a couple months, and these Disney discount stores may have new things that Natalie needs. So we need to make sure that we stay up to date, and she gets all the ears and things for her museum pieces around the house. So we have to make sure she stays updated.
So she can make her talk tick videos.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. She, was it that she doesn't live in a museum? Yeah. That was, It's pretty fun. Like, we've got a lot of crap in our house, so might as well show it off on TikTok. Breaking news. What?
I finally got my Panda Bread shirt yesterday. Did you get yours?
I don't know. I don't have it now currently, but we haven't been home yet. So maybe we got it now, but good thing I paid that extra $5 to have it direct shipped before the You Matter contest, but it didn't know what year. So I'll probably get it before next year's You Matter. Probably, maybe.
And then my new coffee cup, compliments of our friends from Big Love.
Nice. That's
Stephanie.
Awesome.
Look at that. Oh my gosh, look who's here.
Who's here? Santa Keith, and we got Ray Norcross. We got Judy Goebel. My gosh, Barefoot Brains is here.
Yeah, we got a packed house tonight. So since we have so many people,
so packed.
Yeah. So since it's so packed, let's bring on our first guest so we can get the party rolling so the people can get the information that they are here for, Aaron.
That's right, Scott Sikora. We have some breaking news from Taxi Phil. He's going to come in tonight and break some news down about the big Whisker Revival. We ready to do this? I think we are. The one and only Taxi Phil.
What's up, gentlemen? Good to see the Bopsy twins tonight.
We're here. We're Bopsying.
Oh, yeah.
We're more like the Hardy Boys.
You can't always tell you apart. You look so much alike with your matching clothes.
It just happened. It was a complete accident. Wasn't even planned at all.
And Jim Jones probably said the smartest thing I think I've ever heard him say. Blah, blah, blah,
blah.
That's about all he knows how to say, really.
That's about it. About this time of day, that's pretty much all he's going to get out of it.
Yeah, he's on blah, blah mode right now.
That was a great intro there. Me and Ron, we went to different schools together.
Wow.
Right, yeah, that's what I was thinking up there in right outside of Syracuse, maybe.
Yeah, that's when I was up there living up in the Northlands.
All right. Well,
so we have Ray Norcross is here. He says, "Hey, Taxi. So you were on Ray's show this past week, correct?"
It's been a couple of weeks ago. I was on them with them guys.
Yeah, I watched the replay, so I saw that you were on. You're making the rounds. They did a great job.
We recorded that, so.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I was down there with him, so we just went ahead and recorded it down there.
But you graced us with a live performance.
Oh, hell
you give Ray Norcross the pre-tape stuff. That's but the live stuff stays for us, and we appreciate
you guys are special.
Yeah, well, you hear that, Ray? We're special.
That's right.
Andrew loves some Taxi. He must be talking about the TV show.
Yes, sir.
Were you on that show, Taxi?
I was. I was one of the dispatchers there for that.
I knew it. I could tell.
He's good friends with Tony Danza.
Actually, I'm more friends. What the hell was the little short dude's name?
Danny DeVito?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You kind of look like Danny DeVito.
Yeah, we hang out a lot. We're all drinking buddies.
No doubt you two are special. Thank you.
Taxi Phil. So you came on the show tonight because you got some big, huge, enormous breaking news about the big Whisker Revival.
I think it's a pretty big idea here.
Yeah.
We've been asked to do this for many years, and we didn't really have the facility. She wasn't really willing to, but now that she knows us better, this year, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be family friendly. We're even going to have a kids category.
Look at that.
Yep. We haven't added it on there yet. I'm breaking it to you first.
Well, we appreciate it. That's huge.
We're going to add another category. We're going to have a kids category. And that way also some of the older, younger girls or ladies, I should say, can come and participate. And they can go up in the class, up with the Whiskerinas and stuff.
So what's the age divide between the two?
Well, we're going to discuss that more at our meeting on Sunday. I'm looking like 13 or 14. They can go up. Now it's still going to be gender specific. Whiskerina says you got to be women.
Okay.
We're going to stick it with that. The older boys, most of them, by the time they get up there, they really don't want to compete anymore with the kids, And personally, I think by the time you're 13 or 14, you should have a beard.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I mean, I'm sure you had a full mustache by the time you're 13, 14.
About 15 or 16.
Yeah, it looked exactly like this, bright white and everything.
Oh, yeah, just perfect. This was exactly like this. I actually did have a full beard. Back then, you could buy beer when you was 18. So I had to buy everybody's beer for him because I looked like this back then. I was already bald just about, and I had a big old beard, and I didn't drink beer. That's why I always had to drive because I didn't drink at the time. I did drugs. I didn't drink. But it was okay to do a Quaalude and drive. Here, do these 2 Quaaludes and go drive. Bring it idea.
Yeah, but you're not drunk.
Oh, I wasn't drunk. Here, you hit a blotter and go drive. Okay, shit, why not? But yeah, I think that's a pretty big thing for us.
Yeah, that's cool.
We've had it requested for quite some time now. I got with the Southgate House, and we now have the entire building.
Okay.
The last couple of years. Before that, we shared it upstairs. They would have a show up there or something. Now we use that for the green room so everybody can get ready and stuff. But this way, we're going to be ready. And the thing is, they're going to have to be distinguished differently for the kids. So I'm thinking about having a tattoo artist come in and tattoo it on their head.
Tattoo the kids. That's smart.
Yeah, underage on their head.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, Scott will volunteer to do that. He loves tattooing kids.
All right.
It won't wash off. That's the nice part.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. But yeah, like I said, I just want to thank you guys for letting me come on and tell everybody that. And if you've been there before, we've gone back to the barrels for the first place prize. The last couple of years, we did the barrel lids. Ooh. This time, we're going back to the big old whiskey barrel like we used to have. Everybody really liked those a lot. We were having problems. When we came back from the plague, it was really hard to go ask people for money because all the bars had been closed for all that time, so we kind of cut back a little bit. And then we got a really good sponsor come in. It's a newer sponsor. They don't do very many shows. I believe the name of it is Honest Amish.
Okay.
They're kind of new.
Must be new, yeah.
Yeah, in the bearding community and stuff. And we're in cahoots with them guys again this year.
That's nice. Those guys like being in cahoots with you.
They do. They do. Yeah. They also like dressing alike.
Yeah.
They find that very important.
It is very important.
Yeah. So everything else is great down here in Cincinnati. We got a little snow today.
How much snow did you get?
For us, it was a Texas snow, like we couldn't even see it on the ground hardly.
Oh, so everyone acted like the world ended?
We
Texas
do that
snow?
here, just exactly. Cincinnati is pretty bad. We've closed schools because it might snow. All right? And then the next day it'd be like 80 degrees. It's one of them great jobs the weather person is. It's the only job you can be wrong half the time and still keep your job.
Yeah, right. That's you don't have to be right ever to be a meteorologist.
No. I saw a deal the other day on Facebook. It said it was a Texas deal. It says today's weather, possible snow anywhere from 1 inch to 6 feet. Temperature's going to be from -10 to maybe 90. So it was pretty damn funny.
That sounds about right because it's actually been we've had a few days last week that were in the upper 80s, and then this week it's only supposed to get into the high in the low 50s.
Yeah, I was supposed to go to Florida this week for one of my jobs. I drive a guy down there every year, and I kept looking at the weather. Then he called the other day, and his grandson broke his leg, so he couldn't fly. And so I'm like, okay, so we canceled it. That don't make me mad, because now we want to go in June. I can deal with Florida in June, down there in Jacksonville. It's a pretty nice time. So now you have Ron coming on with the Polish.
Yeah, so his I believe it was his grandfather was, putting on a contest up there in Syracuse, New York at the Polish Home. And they're going to do another contest there to help raise money to help renovate the place a little bit. So they help give back to it.
Yeah, a little bit about that is their event's going to be a fundraiser to support the Polish Home, which was established in 1919 as a cultural gathering place for Polish immigrants. So yeah, I mean, I mean, my family's Polish, so we grew up.
You're from Cleveland.
Yeah, I mean, hello. But yeah, no, I'm very familiar with the Polish culture, and I was telling a story the other day about how there's a polka museum in Euclid, Ohio, and we went to it one night to check out some polka bands and stuff. It was really cool, and in the basement they have like a museum, but at the same time they have like a bar there, and then they serve food, and we got like pork chop sandwiches, which was really funny because it's like a deep or a breaded and fried pork chop, like a traditional, but it was bone-in pork chop sandwich. And I'm like, Arr! And it's like you get that big T-bone in there, and it's like, oh, how fun.
And many years ago, we was down in Memphis working the carnival, and they had these built-up barbecue stands all around the fairgrounds. And I went and got a pork chop, I got a rib sandwich. It's just a slab of ribs and 2 pieces of bread.
Yeah.
You don't realize, take a big old bite, you lose half your teeth because all the bones are still in there. But here, I'll give you a fun fact here. There's one of the few words in English language. If you change the first letter to make it capital instead of case, it changes the word and the definition. What is that word?
Race car.
Wrong. No, you're changing just the first letter. It's a single word. Polish and polish. Oh, yeah.
Huh.
See? There's a Polish fun fact of the day.
There you go. Well, thank you, Taxi Phil.
Well, speaking of fun facts, Phil, since we have you here, let's give us the rundown of the competition, so people can know a little bit more about what's going on, other than just that you're adding a kids category.
Right.
So.
We have the basic 14 categories. Now having the kids is the 15th. It's $20 to get in the door. That gets you in your first category. You can do as many categories as you like. It's $5 per extra category. The record is 8 categories. All right, that's been done 3 times. So, and yeah, it's a great time. We have.
You did once. What competition was that? Where you
Bearded Hero?
Bearded Hero. How many categories did you do for that? You did 9.
Yeah, I did 9. Yeah, that's coming up next weekend. In 2 weeks. Yeah. 2 weeks. But in the main room, we start out with James Funk. He plays him and his wife perform the music for us. It's Moonshine and Wine, and they do a great job. The acoustical music, very entertaining. And then we start the show. And then also in the other room, we will have Guitars for Vets in there again this year. And it's a PSD program to get these guys through therapy and stuff. They teach them to play the guitar, and they play the blues. They're in there all night long playing. They do a good job there. We have a very small raffle table. We usually average about 120 items.
Yeah, probably one of the smallest raffle tables around, really.
This club is amazing. They all come together out and work so hard and put everything together. It's a big group effort. Not anybody does this by themselves. It's impossible to do it by themselves. And these guys rock, man. We got really lucky with all the memberships that we have. We do a lot of other things throughout the city, throughout the year. We have the opening day parade coming up. Anybody in the general area would like to come and join us for opening day parade. It's April 30th. We have an event page on Facebook. We'd love to have you guys come out and join us.
That's for the Reds, correct?
That's a Reds opening day parade.
Right.
Okay.
But back to the competition is we work with the Barracks Project. This will be like our 7th or 8th year with the Barracks Project. And what their goal is to get veterans before they hit the streets and help them get acclimated back to civilian life and get them jobs and stuff like that. They've had a few houses donated to them. They've rehabbed these houses, and they'll put families up in the houses until they can get on their feet and get going again and stuff. Free rent, free electric, everything, utilities. They do a good job with that. We go help them a couple different times out of the year. We got a couple of guys that cut grasses for the houses. They go out there with the lawnmowers, cut the grass and stuff. Yeah, before it was a 21 and over, but it ain't no more. Bring the family, bring your friends, bring your friends' family. Hell, bring people you don't even like. We don't care.
Yeah, just bring everybody.
Yeah, bring them all. Everybody's invited. One of these days, Scott's going to show up. I think he ain't been there for a few years.
Yeah. He'll one day, Scott.
Yeah.
You can make
It is probably on the top of my list of comps that I've wanted to go to. That it always just happened to be on the same week as something that was going on with my family. And
so everybody that's watching, if you can hear us, apparently the Talking Beards Facebook page is crashed or is frozen, but you can go to the Talking Beards YouTube, or you can go to Aaron D. Johnston Facebook if you're still on Facebook, or the Honest Amish Facebook. That should work. So something happened with Talking Beards Facebook.
Yeah, I probably broke it.
That's what everybody's saying. Yeah, Jim Jones definitely blamed it on you, Texas.
Oh yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
But we've got our 5 judges. We haven't announced those yet. They're pretty strong judges, man.
I'm sure we'll have you on a couple weeks before your event.
I hope so.
We'll let you announce it. Obviously, you'll do hours live, and then you'll tape Ray Norcross the show.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
I'll tape theirs. I'll tape them other guys on Sundays. But I appreciate
ours is live.
Perfect. We thank you.
Well, Taxi Phil, thank you very much, and enjoy your night. And
thank you.
Yeah, we'll talk to you soon.
I'll be here. I ain't got no place else to go.
All right, buddy.
All right, later, man.
See you, Phil.
All right. That was Taxi Phil.
That was Taxi Phil. And I have a question for you, Aaron.
I have an answer.
So we kind of had this little discussion yesterday on the phone about jellyfish.
Right. Yeah, that's very important. Yeah, we were talking about jellyfishing.
Figure like this moment is like the perfect moment to talk about jellyfish.
I really do. I feel like this is probably the best possible time that we could talk about this.
So, word on the street is if you're in the water and you get stung by a jellyfish, it is excruciatingly painful, but you're supposed to pee on the sting.
You can pee on the sting, and it fixes it.
So what happens? Why not just pee on the jellyfish before it stings you?
That's something that people don't usually think about. No. And we talked about this, and I think we came up with a very solid answer. Absolutely what would happen if you peed on a jellyfish.
It wouldn't.
And it would just neutralize it, and then it wouldn't be able to shock you.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Natalie wanted to fight us on this thing.
No, Natalie was like, that is an urban legend or a myth.
She's still going. She's still going.
Yeah, she's pissed. She was saying that we could talk about this on Bantering Beards tomorrow. That's what she just said. She said, this sounds like a really good Bantering Beards topic. So on the same channel tomorrow, there's a show called Bantering Beards. And come check it out at 8:00 Eastern time. And we banter about things like that. Like, can you pee on a jellyfish?
There you go. So there is a little taste of what Bantering Beards is about. So if you guys aren't doing anything tomorrow night, just tune in to Talking Beards, and you can watch us. We'll probably both be over there.
Probably. And then we'll finish the topic and see what Corey thinks what'll happen if you pee on a jellyfish. He may have a different answer.
As everyone is sitting here watching going, wow, these two guys just totally derailed everything. No, there was a method to our madness there. We were trying to promote another show that we do over on the Talking Beards Network. So
it was so good. That was probably the most professional.
Do you like that?
Ever.
Look he misses your face, mofo.
Gosh, he does. All right, let's get into this. Scott Score, you ready?
Oh, let's get this party going, Aaron.
Oh my gosh, I clicked it.
You can do it.
I did it. All right. So tonight we have the world famous Ron Wolek as he presents the Hank Wolek's 70th Beard and Mustache Contest. That'll be benefiting the Syracuse Polish Home, April 8th in Syracuse, New York. And we're going to find out what all this contest is about tonight. What's up, the two Rons?
Hey.
How are y'all doing?
Good.
Your hair looks great tonight. We just wanted to let you know.
You're talking to him. Oh, my hair. Well,
I was going to say, we can't see the tops of your head.
What happened to your bandana?
Well, it just, I could wear it, but it just wasn't falling on my big head correctly. See,
you don't have to.
Now I just look like I'm wearing half a helmet.
Basically, yeah. It looked better. There you go. That looks way better. Way better.
I think somebody was wearing my bandana. Now it's molded to somebody else's head.
Wow. Who would that be?
I don't
Freaking
know.
Scott.
I'm sorry. I should have washed it and pressed
Yeah,
it
you
before I
should
gave
have.
it back.
You should have with your big head. You
I
stretched
did
out
see
runs.
I did see a trail of what's that stingray juice on the floor there? Jellyfish was running through our office.
You know, I had never heard that before, and the jellyfishes are a big problem here in Florida.
Yeah,
Florida's
just pee on them. That's
Yeah.
it.
There's a lot of pests in Florida I'd like to pee on and see if it works.
I want to say that it was an episode of Baywatch that I saw, and this is years and years ago, where someone got stung by a jellyfish, and that's what they talked about. It was either Baywatch or some other dumb movie, and they were talking about it, and I was like, huh. And I looked it up, and
Baywatch was on television for about 10 years, so they must have known what they were doing, saving lives on the beach.
Must have.
I mean, that's the best place to get your news and information is from Baywatch. Really.
Well, people can't breathe underwater, Aaron.
Well, maybe they can. Speaking of breathing underwater, Scott Sikora.
It's the ammonia that neutralizes the sting, Aaron.
Of course. Everybody knows that. Speaking of ammonia and stings, there's a beard contest happening April 8th in Syracuse, New York.
Are you serious, Clark?
That was beautiful. That was probably the best one I've ever done.
It
ever.
was.
My gosh, that was so good. I'm proud of me, really. So Ron, tell us all about Hank Wolek and how this whole thing got started up there in Syracuse. Let's just, as Scott would say, let's go back to the beginning.
We want to hear the origin story of where this all comes from.
Well, in 1953, my grandfather was an all-star athlete in Syracuse, New York. He was part of a lot of stuff. Wasn't he in the original Orange Bowl or Citrus Bowl?
Yes.
Syracuse got to play Miami in the Citrus Bowl, and I believe the Syracuse won, right? Miami doesn't get to win a lot of football games in the history of Miami.
They just get hurricanes.
That's stupid.
That was a good one.
That was good. That was really good.
Roll Tide.
But he sponsored a lot of athletes and sports teams through his cafe, the Hank's Cafe in downtown Syracuse. And one of the things he did was a mustache growing contest in 1953 that got so famous it made the newspaper and the Syracuse Post-Standard. So the anniversary of that is here on April 8th, 2023 is the 70th anniversary of this historic contest. Now, part of the deal back then was you grew a mustache during Lent. And then if you shaved it off and you were a good member and paid your dues every week, you got a clam bake the following Saturday. So that's why we're holding it on April 8th. This has to do with that in the Polish tradition and of growing badass mustaches for a month. Yeah.
Clam bake. Isn't that not out of season?
Well, they waited until the season was there, but they had the free clam bake. It wasn't in April, no.
Oh, okay. Because I'm like, clams are not usually a springtime delicacy.
No. So what they got like a coupon to come back for the clam bake?
Yeah, what he did was my father had a bar, a restaurant, or a cafe, and it was called the Sportsman's Cafe, and that's where the contest came out of. And on the side of the building was a huge parking lot, and that's where you would have the clam bake there. So it would be in the summertime.
There's actually a picture of it in the press kit on mustacheparlor.com. If you want to take a look at it, I emailed it to you a little earlier. Of this clam bake right there on the right hand
bottom
right hand side. That big
there
bucket.
It is. Sportsman Cafe.
Somehow they got a big bucket of clams in April.
Wow, that's impressive.
But that's the type of man my grandfather was. He was always out doing cool shit, just like me. And he found a way to get a bucket of clams for all the people who were good mustache growers in April.
Man, we could not in Cleveland get clams in Cleveland till September. No matter how hard we try.
Well, those were probably the same clams. They got them in September, but then they just like hung out until April and then they cooked them. Well, everybody knows clams stay on they don't go bad.
According to that article, there was also acid rain from Las Vegas that visited Syracuse that week. Perhaps that had to do with shocking the clams out of their beds and into the pot.
I have a question.
Mhm.
What happened to acid rain? Did it just go away?
I think we stopped testing nuclear weapons. Maybe that's why.
Oh, okay. That was good thinking.
Hmm.
That happened a lot in the 50s too.
Yeah.
That's a good question. I would imagine it would still be there.
They don't talk
along
about it
with
anymore. It
cow
doesn't
farts
exist.
and
With
a lot
all
of-
the climate change going on right now, I mean, you would think acid rain would be like top of the list, but it's not even on the list, I don't think, anymore.
Nope.
Maybe it's what melted the snow. We were trying to get things organized today. Unfortunately, Syracuse got hit with a giant blizzard, record setting from what people are telling me. They closed schools down throughout the state.
See, I keep forgetting that you're in Florida, not Syracuse. So
Yeah, he's in Florida.
shut up,
promoting
Aaron.
an
That's what I
event
just
in
said.
New York. Come on, Scott.
Yeah.
Even Alan D. Eckert knows this. Coal scrubbers.
Coal scrub. What is that?
Exactly, Scott. Exactly.
I mean, I know it's like the steel belt area and like
It's the same thing. It all goes back to the things you pee on in the ocean. Coal scrubbers. That's what Alan calls them.
trying to test out all the different links because it seems like we're having some issues with the online stuff right now.
It does seem like it. So here it is. Andrew answered it. Acid rain disappeared April 21st, 2016 with the Purple Rain and Prince.
I remember that Super Bowl when it happened.
That's it.
And it also happened in Miami.
That was it. That was the last acid rain.
And
Prince destroyed acid rain.
He did not stop playing either. He played the entire concert without
acid
rain on the stage
the whole time. Acid rain everywhere. And then after that, it just gave up and it left.
I had an opportunity to see his last concert. I didn't know it was going to be his last concert, so I went to bed instead. I really regret that. I was working in Atlanta at the time, and I knew something was going on because all of a sudden I was working at the Fox Theater. All of a sudden, Prince got added to the schedule like a week or two before that, and he passed away like a couple of days after. So, and the whole show was just him on the piano, very like, what do they say? What's the word I'm looking for? Very, very personal experience from the audience.
Yeah, it was definitely one that passed away too soon for sure.
Mm-hmm. So, which now back to our cause.
Yeah.
So, we found out that this was the 70th anniversary. So I had through our friend Christine Hackman and contacted our buddy Aaron here and said about this idea and that the Syracuse Polish Home needed a roof. So the Syracuse Polish Home is a cultural center for immigrants that came to Syracuse in the turn of the century. It still exists and is open to membership to anybody. And they've got a historic 100-year-old building, which is a badass place to put on a beard and mustache contest. So the people who compete, who come to the contest, will be in a banquet hall. And during the awards ceremony, we're going to have a banquet that's going to be a Polish buffet. And there's a secret bar downstairs for Polish members. And there's also going to be a competitor's lounge, real classy 1950s motif everywhere. Cool trophies from that era. I would say the Polish Home was a very sports athletic organization. And so during the pandemic, they have one of the very few Brunswick bowling lanes left in existence. And during the pandemic, it wasn't being used. So now it needs some repairs along with the roof and some other building repairs. So that is our cause for that we selected the cause for the charity. And it's also going to host the event on April 8th in 2023.
But the cool thing is you mentioned the banquet and that's a extra fee. So if you want to just do the beard competition part, you don't have to do the banquet part. You can just hang out with the beard competition people and you don't get to eat though. So,
right.
But if you do compete, you get a discount on the dinner, correct?
Yeah. So there's several ways to participate. There's the original mustache growing contest. all the people you know in upstate New York who don't have a mustache, you think you can grow one, that you got 4 weeks, which is possible. It takes about 2 weeks to grow a good mustache. We want to see what turns up, and you can get a trophy for that. Or there's the traditional beard and mustache contest. You come and you pay $20 entry fee. Registration opens at 12 on that day. You can also register online at mustacheparlor.com/Syracuse, or just go to mustacheparlor.com. And if you don't want to participate in the beard and mustache contest and you would still want to support our cause, you can join the banquet, which you can also get as a discounted price if you're in the contest. Cool. The banquet starts at 5 and food will be served at 6 p.m. And then about that time, the judges will have everything totaled, and we're going to have an awards ceremony live on the stage at 7 p.m. And afterwards, we have to hang out in the secret Polish bar and celebrate with all of our cool bearded friends with all their trophies.
Go ahead, Scott.
What is on the menu? Do you know that?
That part, I let the chef decide. They have an executive chef.
Man.
I believe lasagna, and there must be kielbasa. There'll be vegetarian options.
Lasagna is not Polish.
Yes. It is when a Polish man makes it, though.
Oh, man.
I can't promise that.
Pierogies in there, like a pierogi lasagna?
Yeah.
Pierogi lasagna. I like
pierogi with lasagna filling. Isn't that a ravioli in a way?
Kind of. Not if you leave the pierogi guts in there too and you just add to it, then it's just a super pierogi.
Well, that's what one time I was making the Mrs. T pierogies, and usually my family would always get together, and my grandmothers and all my aunts would make 10,000 like handmade pierogies with the cheddar potato insides, and we would have a big feast. And so pierogies are like a real mainstay in our family and everything. And one night I had a hankering for pierogies, but as I started making them up, I didn't have onions. I didn't have sour cream. I didn't have all the accoutrements that go with presenting myself a wonderful dish of pierogies. So I was like, wonder if I put a little bit of tomato sauce on this. Like, it is kind of like a ravioli in a way. And I was surprised. It was pretty good.
Huh. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So it was just spaghetti sauce with some potato inside?
Well, I mean, it had spaghetti sauce on top of the pierogi. So it was like eating giant size ravioli.
An Italian pierogi. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like this.
So as Alan says, a pierogi tacos. We need to come up with that whole idea. I'm sure we could get that going here.
That is something that should have been invented a long time ago. I would love to put pierogies and tacos together.
Have you done this?
No, but it needs to be done right away. It may be close to an empanada, but we're not going to fry it. We'll put our Polish spin on it and just put a lot of butter and onions.
And sausage. You can put Polish sausages in it.
With some hot sauce.
We got Jerry here. We haven't seen Jerry, and he like disappeared off the planet years ago. Here
Jerry won Best in Show in Alaska on the March 3rd or 4th or whatever it was up there. That was pretty cool.
Wow,
Jerry, are you coming to Syracuse on the April 8th? You should definitely do that.
Not many people can say they won the 70th anniversary of a contest. That's a pretty legit prize.
Yeah. Jerry loves doing stuff like that. He'll probably get into it. So Go ahead.
I was going to say all the judging is going to take place, the usual standards for beard and mustache contests. So whoever wins these trophies will be proud that we just didn't give it to our relatives or something like that.
Speaking of judges, do you want to kind of talk about a few of these judges? I think we have everything for 4 of them.
Yeah, I'm really impressed and proud of the people we attracted to help us judge this competition. That's an important part to me. I want to make sure this is legitimate prize.
Yeah. I think these are a really good judges panel here. Do you want to start it off, or do you want me to do it?
Go for it. Hey, look,
all right. So the first one we have we wrangled down was this little character here, Bob Baker. He's really taken off in the TikTok world. I think he's got over 1 million followers over there, and
he does really good videos on making candlesticks.
He is a great candlestick maker. He's so good with wax. He
just coming to see this man's mustache is worth the entry fee alone.
I agree. It's a glorious mustache, and Bob will be there, and we'll probably get Bob and Ron Wallach in a conversation. Just see what happens.
Yeah, just to hear what that man's advice would be to have the facial hair prowess that he demonstrates.
Just keep growing and just be loud and proud about it.
If a man with a mustache like that said that, you got a 3, I think that you would take it as a legitimate score. There's no contesting.
No, you're like, all right, Bob, I'll do better. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, and if you're lucky, you'll probably end up being in one of his TikTok videos because he's always filming stuff and he's becoming immensely popular on TikTok. Like
I think Bob is like legitimately on the cusp, but he's gonna like outgrow the beard community and he's gonna end up in like Hollywood movies. I genuinely think that like something's gonna happen with Bob. He's too talented to not.
People are probably gonna hire me to make mustaches to replicate that
for Bob.
Yeah, actually, there you go. Maybe Bob needs a stunt mustache.
Yeah, you're going to cast his mustache, and you're going to be able to make the Bob mustache and sell it on your website.
Check out these mustaches I just made for the opera. This one,
the Phantom.
One went to a hoolie he. Look at that.
Wow.
I wonder what Bob would say about this mustache if he'd give it a
4.
How you would score it.
4 out of what?
10.
Well, I think it's pretty even.
7.5.
I would consider you would lose points if one side was longer than the other.
Yeah, and that one's
the density is pretty nice.
It's not even growing from the face.
I know.
It also makes a great unibrow.
I thought it was a toupee.
It could make a good merkin too. Don't forget about merkins. Everyone forgets about the merkin.
Oh yeah,
can't forget about the merkins. Scott, don't start talking about merkins.
Oh, sorry.
We're still on judges.
So, but the Whiskerinas can come for the realistic mustache category, and I'm sure Bob will be a terrific judge in fake mustaches as well.
Bob
as
loves
the ones that grow on your face.
For sure.
Bob is okay. Elliot,
I'm gonna actually bring a couple of my handmade mustaches and enter it in myself, maybe just to see what he has to say. I'm curious. I want them scored.
All right. Well, our next judge that will also score your mustache also has a pretty good mustache, but he also has a very glorious beard that sometimes he puts balls in it. Matt McClear of Beard Laws. Wow. Look at that. He loves putting all the Christmas ornaments in his beard. It's his favorite time of year, and he waits all year just to decorate his beard for Christmas. He loves Christmas so much. Matt McClear, Beard Laws. He's up there in that part of the country, so he was the first person I reached out to. I was like, "Hey, you live in New York? How far are you from Syracuse?" And I think he said like 2.5, 3 hours. So he's going to come down and be one of the judges.
And I should bring that up too, because I forget to tell people we've organized so you can have a really good hotel deal if you decide to travel to come to Syracuse. I recommend you use the Amtrak if you're in the surrounding cities because it's pretty cheap. There's a station not too far away. And there's several hotels on mustacheparlor.com/Syracuse in the lodging section that have given us discounted deals around $100 a night, which you can't beat that. Syracuse is usually a city where hotels cost around $230 to $300. And a couple of them have shuttle service from the airport too. And they stay right down in downtown Syracuse, which downtown Syracuse has come back and alive. There's lots of breweries there that are going to be supporting the event that they're promoting the contest. Syracuse is, I feel like, is really excited behind this because it's their contest. This is the 70th anniversary of a tradition that my grandfather started. Can't wait to honor his legacy and raise a good donation to bring back the Syracuse Polish Home Foundation's historic Brunswick lanes. Because as I said when I came down there to open the competition, it's time to reopen the lanes.
That's right.
We must bowl again.
It's time.
And that's what we're going to hopefully do.
End lane persecution. Now, I have a really great idea. Like, if any one, do you like that? It was a Revenge of the Nerds quote, but I adjusted it to fit this. So if I was a female, I think that I would do a Whiskerina beard out of clamshells for bonus points.
That would get a lot of bonus points.
See, there you go. So if anyone's listening out there, they're looking for one.
The first thing that the board of directors at the Polish Home, because we were wondering, I wonder if they're even going to let us have a beard contest there. And the first thing that they said, can ladies enter too? That's what they wanted to know. They didn't want to know if there was going to be like permits involved, who I was, et cetera, et cetera. They wanted to know if ladies could be in this contest too.
So did they know about Whiskerinas, or were they specifically talking about bearded ladies?
They had no idea about Whiskerinas or bearded ladies. They just, the two women on the board of the directors said, "Oh man, this sounds like such a great contest. We want to enter to someone." And I explained the Whiskerina thing, and they got that sealed the deal, I think.
Well,
that's impressive.
That is pretty cool. I didn't know that at all. Like, we don't care who you are. Can women be in this beard contest?
That's basically how the conversation went.
And they're like, "Who are you? Why are you in my living room?"
Now, I guess we should bring up the next judge is going to be the president emeritus of the Syracuse Polish Home.
Sure, that could be our next one.
Robert Sobolski. And he will be an honorable judge.
And you are related to this guy on some level?
We are cousins in some way.
In some way. I like it.
That's what my uncle says. We did a genealogy test. There seems to be relatives that we are related to.
I like this.
He likes red.
But hey, look at that guy's beard. He's definitely related to me.
Yeah, y'all look just
You said that was only a couple months.
He looks like my dad.
You look...
This guy is awesome. I sat down and talked to him about Polish history. He's an expert in the community and the history of Poland in regards to Syracuse, why there is a Polish home. He spent several years teaching in Poland.
And he's going to be
cool
there.
Dude to hang out with.
Live
the judges are going to have so much fun hanging next to him.
Way to go, Matt. He asked him some good questions.
Yeah, Matt. All right, so we've got one more judge that we can officially announce, and then we've got another judge that's like 95% committed. But I don't have a picture of them. But we got one more that we do have a picture-y thing for, and this is going to connect back to you, Ron Wallach. This is Ray Norcross. He has a podcast called Bearding Without Borders on Thursday night.
Never heard
of it. I think you're going to be on a show coming up, right?
Yes, at 7 p.m. on Thursday.
And that's this Thursday.
That is an epic handlebar. It's right there.
Boy, you better tell him.
Imagery is awesome.
You make sure that you tell Ray that
I would put that mustache in an opera.
Oh, geez.
It belongs on stage.
You belong on stage, Ray Norcross.
Ray Norcross, you belong on the stage. Do an opera.
So what should he tell Ray Norcross?
I was just, I was going to make a joke about how handsome the hosts from Talking Beards are compared to him.
Yeah, you should definitely bring that up, Ron, a couple times. Yeah. Like, I was on this other show Tuesday, and those guys were way more handsome looking than you. There's just something about those two guys on Tuesday. I don't know. You just need to make sure that Ray knows that we're the more handsome.
Yeah, and they like talking about pierogies and jellyfish and just all sorts of great things.
I was pretty envious. Aaron came to mustacheparlor.com today, and a couple times I was like, man, the mustache alone is epic. If only I had those genetics. You have any Polish genetics?
Me?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
He's from Kentucky.
I'm from Kentucky. We got Polish people in Kentucky? I don't know. Born and raised, Western Kentucky. That's us, my ancestors.
He was born in the back of a NASCAR that was hauling some illegal liquors across the county line.
And then I was
we did that in Poland too.
It's got upstairs in my father's bar. It originated with my grandmother. She made gin up there. Bootleg gin.
Yeah.
So there could be Polish down in Kentucky.
And we talked about that with Rob, the historian, and we looked it up. So the code back then was a juice bar. So if you sold juice in Prohibition, you probably were selling bathtub gin.
Gin and juice.
Mm.
There it
Be a
is.
song.
You're out there just sipping on it. Probably
Yeah.
cruise around in a 6'4"
look-
Impala.
I think so, because if you're in the Prohibition era, it's also the Depression, and you're dirt poor. Why would you spend your hard money on juice?
Yeah,
because
just
it's
drink.
healthy.
Yeah. Gin. Gin's way more healthy. It
Probably
tastes
was
like
gin.
pine needles.
Tastes like a bathtub, you idiot.
Oh yeah, a bathtub.
Yeah, but it
with
made
pine
you forget
needles.
about how poor you were.
Or that you were
How
drinking
sucky the Depression
bathtub
was.
juice.
bathtub juice. Bathtub juice.
Hmm.
So mustacheparlor.com. You can go over there, like Ron said, and there's a link right there that says beard contest, or you can go to mustacheparlor.com/Syracuse. Is that what the direct link was?
That will take you directly there. That's the information page, and then
Yeah,
there's
so-
several different ways to be a part. If you do want to just participate in the banquet alone and not compete, you actually get to pick your table seating, and so that's why there's a different outlet for that. Also, the to enter into the beard contest, we take all your registration questions too. That's the article from 1953 down there in the bottom about the original contest. This is the 70th anniversary for. Hank Wolek there is in the middle with all of his buddies.
Look at him.
Look at all those mustache guys.
Look at all those buddies. They all have mustaches.
And if you go to the Hank Wolek website, part of that, and under the About section, you go to the Hank's Mustache Club, you can read the entire article all about the acid rain, the youths with razors.
Utes.
1953 was a scary time in Syracuse, New York.
And there it is. There's
And this
beard
is the contest page.
And you don't have to pre-register. If you want to still come to the event, we will do day of registration, but you could also pre-register online. But there's the registration information. There's the banquet information to buy your tickets. And then the next one over is the lodging information. So that shows, and these are all relatively close to the venue, I would assume, Ron.
Yeah. Within a 5-minute drive,
Yeah.
you could actually walk if you really wanted to.
But it's probably going to be cold since there's a
Yeah.
foot of snow on the ground now.
And parking's a little bit limited. So if you do plan on attending, please take an Uber or carpool.
There you go.
Said take the train already.
Yeah. We're expecting a pretty big turnout. So just walk up and win the prize.
There you go. Speaking of prizes, do we want to hint at what the first place trophies may look like? Or should we wait?
I think it's a good, enticing thing. I mean,
It's going to be pretty good.
So
I mean,
we have the basis for first place if
Yeah.
you want to show them off.
Well, what should we do? I mean, it's a pretty
I
big
think we should do
surprise
it.
to put up the bat.
I
No,
think
it's
that
no.
you should, well, because it's not the finished product. So that's going to be the fun part about it. But you can at least tell the story of what it is and like, wow, this is
Where
like,
did these come from?
I know we're not even really sure if we can say where they actually came from. But
Well,
it'd
they
be
came
pretty-
from
straight
They came from
Barrons
something
house.
that was in the Caribbean at one
they were
time.
straight from the Caribbean, and probably pirates were involved.
Billy
It
Ocean
could have
has
been.
nothing to do with these.
They're
But wouldn't it? That's the best part is when you walk out of there with this trophy, you can use it for a shield to protect yourself from all your envious friends.
it's
And the
real
acid
wood.
rain.
It's,
There
it's
you go.
out of a barrel, and it used to be a part of something else, but now it's going to be a super cool trophy. So
Yeah.
come get these first place trophies. They are going to be substantial.
So if you live in the Northeast, this is an easy trip for you to get to. Syracuse is a very inexpensive airport to fly in and out of with the budget airlines. Frontier flies there, has a lot of flights going in out of the Syracuse Hancock Airport. Also Spirit Airlines and Allegiant, as well as the big brands. And like I said, the convenient way to get there from New York City, it's a 6-hour train ride on Amtrak. Puts you right in the middle of Syracuse. Is easy to get to because that's the home of the state fair for upstate New York.
Nice.
And you can get there from Buffalo. You can drive there from Buffalo and Rochester, and you can come as far as Boston or Detroit and Chicago on the Amtrak ride. I did take the Amtrak from Syracuse to Detroit. It was a pretty cool deal. I had the transfer, I believe, in Toledo. That's an awesome retro station. If you like train stations, it still had the same couch from like the 50s. It looked like something that Marilyn Monroe was in the Bus Stop movie.
And it was probably very dilapidated at this point in time.
Did you hear that, Dan C. Bearded? He was talking about coming from Detroit. That's your neck of the woods.
Dan C. Bearded, there's a train that goes from Detroit to Syracuse. And
you want to look for the North Shore Limited Amtrak train.
There you go, Dan C.
Probably get a ticket for $20 or $30. And I've been on that train. The chairs are huge, much bigger than an airplane seat. Kind of like a lazy boy type of a thing. You could sleep really well into it, or they do have sleeper cars on this train too.
This is good. That's better than.
So you can come to this beard contest just like you lived in Europe. You can put on your best bearded suit, put all your beard brushes and your Amish products, in a little Amish bag.
There you go.
Get it in a knapsack together. Come travel on the train after the contest. Go back on the train. A nice, good hangover from the Polish Home Bar.
There you go. All right. Well, you're so full of all the information, Ron. We always appreciate you coming on the show. And yeah, man, everybody go to mustacheparlor.com and go check it out. Go ahead, Rod.
And one more thing, we have an administrator for the contest. His name is Harrison. He will be working at mustacheparlor.com Tuesday through Saturday. From 3 to 7 p.m. So if you want to call us, you got a question, is my beard going to qualify? You know, what if I don't have a beard? What if I want to don't want to sit next to somebody at this beard contest? We can organize it all. The number is 407-479-0012. And if you call in the afternoon, Harrison, the administrator of the contest, will pick up. Make sure you got your T-shirt. Anything that you're missing, it's his job to make sure you get it.
There you go. Call and yell at Harrison.
Go Harrison. Yeah. Gosh darn it.
And we have certificates and prizes that we're going to make him shipped out to people.
There you go.
And we can't wait to hear what people say when they receive them. Because mustacheparlor.com, I've had barely any sleep handling any of this stuff. But so I do want to thank all the people who have supported mustacheparlor.com in the contest, because I'm putting it right back into the business and giving somebody a really cool job that you can talk to people about beards and mustaches all day.
All right, Ron. Well, thank you for that. And
thank you, Aaron.
Yeah.
And
yeah, everybody check out mustacheparlor.com and come to Syracuse, New York on April 8th to the Polish Home. All right, Scott Sikora, I think that pretty well wraps up the night, right?
I'm thinking so, but yeah, we want to thank everyone for watching the show. We apologize for technical difficulties that had nothing to do with us. But yeah, so if you guys, maybe we should start migrating people. I mean, we already have a bunch of people watching currently from YouTube. I mean,
I'm going to let you finish this up, Scott Sikora, but I have a technical difficulty of myself and I've got to go. So
okay,
everybody have a great night.
All right.
Goodbye.
Yeah. So everyone, thank you very much for checking the show out. And like I said, apologize for the technical difficulties. If you ever find that Aaron D. Johnston broke it again, it has nothing to do with Aaron. But yeah, go over, check us out on YouTube, but seems to be the most stable of all the places to go check us out at. But we want to thank everyone for, like I said, I keep repeating myself, but checking the show out. Thank you to Honest Amish. Don't forget to go to honestamish.com and check out all the different and wonderful products that they have for your beard and skin, such as soaps and balms and salves and lip stuff, which is really good. They have some really great lip stuff. Don't forget to use promo code Talking Beards to get 15%. Also, don't forget to go to beardcalendar.com and check out all the latest beard competitions that are going on in the country and in the world. And if you do have a competition coming up and you want to get it on the beard calendar, when you go to thebeardcalendar.com, a little pop-up will pop up and you can enter the information for all that stuff. And that's about it for tonight. So we want to thank Aaron. We want to thank the Woleks. We want to thank Taxi Phil for all the great information they gave us tonight. Don't forget to go to talkingbeards.com, and we're just going to end it there. So thank you, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to Talking Beards. Make sure you go over to honestamish.com and use promo code TalkingBeards to get 15% off your order. Don't forget to tune in live next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern at talkingbeards.com.